final 9-patch block, but we still need to make it a disappearing 9-patch block. So as you can see, every little seam matches. It looks gorgeous on the other side. And now what we're going to do is it's time to cut this block up and show you what your final layout's going to look like. So what we want to do is measure this center block. So if you'll see, this center block is 4.5 inches. So if I pull this up here so you can see the number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So what we want to do is we want to cut this entire block in half. So what does that mean? That means that we need to cut in 2.25 inches. What we're going to do though, instead of trying to measure all the way across, we are just going to simply line up our ruler at the 2.25 mark all the way up and down. Get everything nice, perfectly straight. And we're going to put even pressure straight up and down on your rotary cutter. And just go through. Now, I'm not going to pull this too far apart, but you can see that we cut it in half. What you're going to want to do is either place your rotary mat, cutter, ruler, and blocks on the corner of a table so you can easily walk to the other side, just like over here, and then you can cut across this way, or rotate your mat. Do not move the blocks because the chances of you lining them up again perfectly are pretty slim. So what we want to do is now measure our 2.25 in on this side so we can cut this part, these parts of the blocks in half as well. So then you can just come over here, line them up, and again, straight across, even pressure, and there we go. Now let's have a look. Here are our 4 disappearing 9-patch block pieces. How fun is that? So it looks way harder than it is, but you don't need to tell anyone that. They can think that you cut a little 2.5-inch square here. So now let's talk about final layout. You'll remember we have these going in different directions for a specific reason. That is because we're now going to take this block and turn it on its side so that we now have the hexes up in the top right corner and that these poppies are now directionally correct. Same thing with this bottom right block. We're going to turn it counterclockwise and it's now going to be directionally correct with the hexes in the bottom. This piece of the block gets to stay right here, and this one just moves from here down to here, and this is your final block, what it'll look like. So one fantastic thing about this block is it looks like you do all of this hard work, but you don't have to match any of these seams. All you have to worry about is matching this little guy right here 5 times across and 5 times down. And then obviously where you meet them in the middle. Now, here's a tidbit for you and something you'll want to remember. If you always press the dark side, the darker side, you will be able to nest your seams on this quilt. So this is the darker side. So when you stitch these two together, then you're going to press to this side. Then when you stitch these two together, you're going to press to this side, and that will create your nest. So then you can stitch these two together to get your final block.